All right, we are going to have a chat about finding the midpoint of a line, like the bit that's halfway along. Let's have a look. That might make a bit more sense if we do that. I'm going to take 2 points. This is the coordinate 1, 2, because if I come across 1 and I go up 2, I get to the point 1, 2. And if I come across here to 7 and up to 4, this is the point 7, 4. I can join them with a line, not rocket science so far. Now I want to know what would be the coordinate of the point that's right in the middle. So this point here, okay, and we call this the midpoint. Okay, so how can I go about? Now I can look at that and I can just see visually just by looking at that, it's kind of across here at 4, 3. So I'm guessing the answer is going to be the point 4, 3, but let's look at it mathematically and see if we can prove it. Okay, here are my two coordinates, my 2 points, 1, 2. And 7, 4. I've got an X value and a Y value for each of those. But to help identify which one is which, I'm going to call one of them X1 and the other one X1, Y1 and X2, Y2. Just so they're not confusing, because I want to use these in a moment. So whatever point I pick first, I'll call X1 and Y1. And whichever point I pick second, I'll call X2 and Y2. Now, it's really important at this point to remember it doesn't matter if you go the other way around. If you called, this X2 and Y2. Okay, so mathematically it doesn't matter. You just pick one, say, well, that will be my first point, that will be my second point. All right, and here it's as hard as it gets. It's actually pretty simple. The X value of the midpoint is just the average of those two X's. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to get the average of these two, I add them together, and I divide by how many numbers there were in my addition. There's 2. So I'm going to take the two X values. That's X1, which is this one here, and X2, which is this one. The two X values, I'm going to add them together. So 1 and 7 to get, and put them over 2, because I want to find the average of that. So 8 over 2 is 4. Right? Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do this with the Y value. Okay, so the Y value of the midpoint is just the average of the two Y values. So I'm going to take the two Y values, that's this one here, and this one here. So my Y1 and my Y2, and I'm going to find the average of them. So add them together, divide it by 2, and I get a value of 3. That's it. The X value of my midpoint is 4. The Y value of my midpoint is 3. And if I put them into a coordinate form, so the X and the Y, I get a 0.43. So if I have a look up here, that's exactly what I thought was going to be the case before we started. Okay, so let's have a look at another one. I've got the 2 points here, negative 6, 4. So I've come across the negative 6 and up to 4, and 0, 0. I want to find the midpoint, and basically what I've done is I've summarized. This is what the midpoint it's not a formula, I guess. It's just a format. The X value is just going to be X1 plus X2 divided by 2, because I'm just finding the average of the X's. And the Y value is going to be this, Y1 plus Y2 over 2, because I'm finding the average of the Y values. So let's go through and apply that to my question here. I've got an X1 is negative 6. Oops, where's my cursor? There we go. X1 is negative 6, and my X2 is 0. My Y1 will be 4, and my Y2 will be this 0 here. And I'm just going to take those numbers now and put them into that format, right? X1 plus X2 divided by 2, and Y1 plus Y2 divided by 2. That will give me the coordinates. If I sort of simplify this, I've got negative 6 over 2, so negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the coordinate of my midpoint for that particular line, that line there between those 2 points, the midpoint coordinate is at negative 3, 2. Good job. Well done.